Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the privacy edition. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to catch the show live, see all the nonsense and chaos as it actually happens, and stay tuned for all of the in-between segment comments and chat. And today we're doing some privacy news, and then we are doing a little bit of smart tech. Definitely an interesting little thing and an interesting little crossover. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Yet another Telegram video. Guys, delete Telegram. Hashtag delete Telegram. Over 500 million. Hashtag delete Facebook. Hashtag stop using phone numbers and crap. All right, there you go. 3 hashtags for you. 500 million Facebook users' phone numbers are for sale through a Telegram bot. So a Telegram bot's roaming around, and apparently you can purchase these phone number and Facebook user connections for $20 a pop, or if you like to buy 10,000 of them, it's going to cost you $5,000. So there you go. You got like a 25% discount if you want to buy 10,000 of these guys at a time. And I was looking around to see if this thing's been blocked yet or not. So if Telegram can get in there and delete your conversations that they don't tend to agree with, you'd think that they could possibly destroy a bot that's enriching hackers and spreading hacked material around the internet. Presumably the bot might be gone by now, but nevertheless, just add this, shuffle this under your reasons to delete Telegram. You're ditching WhatsApp. Yeah, look at some of the other ones. We still got Signal, seems okay. We got Wire, seems okay. There's a few other ones out there that seem okay as well. Next, Gabe Newell believes brain-computer interfaces will let us edit who we are. This is very similar, actually, to a science fiction novel that stick around to the end of the show and you'll hear a little bit more about. But what we'll see here is that, oh man, this is insane. This is insane. So the idea is you have this computer interface, and with this computer interface, you can go ahead and connect the system into your head, and then you can utilize an app on your phone and tell it what you want. So if you want to sleep for 10 hours or whatever. Here's the thing. Twilight Zone happens when it becomes possible to edit who you are through the brain-computer interface. For example, Noel says one of the early applications he expects to see is something to help with sleep. Instead of taking a pill to help you fall asleep, you simply enter how long you want to sleep in the app, and voila, it happens. We're crossing a little bit too far into dystopia here. This is actually a little bit of a premise of what we saw in Blade Runner. Now, not the movie Blade Runner, but the book. If you are unaware of that, they bought the rights to the book and the rights to another book, 2 different books. They liked the Blade Runner name for what became the movie, but they liked the concept in the separate book differently. So they bought the book Blade Runner and a second dystopian book, which was mostly Blade Runner was mostly based on that secondary book. That was one of the features in that book, is you could do a lot of editing and changing and adapting. You're in a bad mood, you hit a button on your little thing and boom, instantly you're in a good mood again. So very dystopian of you. Good to see yet another dystopian science fiction book coming on into the fray. But there we have it, folks. There we have it indeed. So, yeah. And of course, this is in the privacy section because somebody's logging all of this data, I promise. DIA, this is one of the Department of Defense. They purchased cell phone location data without any warrants. The Defense Intelligence Agency has been using smartphone location data purchased from commercially available databases, according to an intelligence memo obtained by Cyberscoop. DIA primarily provides intelligence to support U.S. military operations and has been gathering location data on both Americans and non-U.S. citizens dating back 2.5 years, according to the memo, which was drafted in by the DIA for offices of Senator Ron Wyden. So this is one of these issues with all these companies. Sure, the government's technically not allowed to have this type of data, but what's actually stopping them? Oh, nothing, you say. Pretty much that's the case. And this is why we have to have better privacy and security by which we prevent as many companies collecting it as you possibly can. Are you going to prevent everything? Probably not. But are you going to be doing a whole lot better if you try than if you wave the white flag and say, yeah, Facebook, you can have everything I've got, okay? And that's why we do what we do in the privacy communities. And so here we have it, yet another case of them turnkey government and just buying up stuff. I mean, the companies make the stuff available for sale. Let's just go ahead and sell it. Sure, let's go ahead and sell it. Who's buying? Who cares? Peace sells, but who's buying? Privacy sells, but who's buying? There you go, right? And so there we have it. The military is purchasing our location data without any warrants, but hey, it's just the purchase of data. You don't need warrants for that. What does a Biden presidency mean for privacy policy? Very good question. So this is more of a speculative article than anything else. And what this is looking at is carrying on. If you've been following what's going on in the politics, nearly every single person in the Biden administration held the exact same position under an Obama administration. In other words, we basically have the third term of Obama administration, and I promise Joe Biden is not making any real decisions here. So one of the things the Obama administration was working on is some privacy laws. And that really does sound great. We need some privacy laws. We need some privacy data. This is one of the weird places where in this backwards world, California got it right with some of their privacy laws. GDPR is generally okay with the sole exception of the stupid cookie policy, which is kind of annoying. But outside of the cookie policy, outside of a few other little odds and ends, GDPR is actually not all that bad to say, hey, the companies need to respect data better. And there was, under the Obama administration, a privacy bill of rights, which you can find linked in this article. And this article is down in the description. You can see this is dating back to February 2012. This is in the, is this first? I think this is first, nearing the end of the first term of Barack Obama presidency, and they actually have all of this information. And I didn't read through all this, I skimmed through most of it, but I looked at each one of the sections and things. What I don't see in here is I don't see anything where they are telling a company you may not collect any data without explicit consent. This is one of the challenges we have in our policy, is that when we are looking at all of these different policies, all of these different rules, all these different layouts and things like that, what we're actually starting to see here is we're seeing cases where a government like a school or your employer is forcing you to use some party like Microsoft or Google. In order to use Microsoft or Google, you have to agree to the terms of service, and tied into the terms of service is the fact that they're going to collect anything and everything that they want. That is ultimately and fundamentally the biggest problem that we have in this, is that there is no real protection. There's nothing that says a company may not collect any more data than is necessary, and that's actually absent from this privacy bill of rights. So that's definitely an interesting thing here. And moving on to our last article, Google encouraged by its alternative to cookies. This is, in my opinion, the seeing a lot of interesting things converge all at once. Why did it take Flash, a horrible program that really hasn't even been used for several years, why did it take Flash so long to die? Because Flash is used by marketing agencies. These things called super cookies or zombie cookies. You delete it from your browser and immediately they come back, because all you need to do is load a little instance of a Flash Macromedia cache, because that is not cleared when you clear your cookie data and your browsing history data. And Flash allowed you to store a whole lot more user data than did your browser cookies. And so a lot of companies took to storing a lot of things inside of Flash. Well, now that Flash is dead, and we'll see pretty soon some funny consequences of that. I think that's in our last section, so it won't be on this cut video, but regardless, Flash now dies. Now, and at the same time, a lot of people are still going, man, we need to be more cautious about our privacy. We need to run ad blockers. We need to run ad trackers. And so Google's like, man, I'm serving ads. I don't know who I'm serving ads to anymore. So they're coming in with all these new ways of serving ads, which are connected to APIs. Curiously, the APIs are what is being pulled out of Chromium browsers, which to me is almost makes a little bit backward sense. You'd be like, yeah, take all these APIs. That way all these downstream browsers all feed us more data, but they're not actually doing that. Very interesting. But what they're doing here is they're trying to find a way to serve targeted ads without using the cookies. Why? Because cookies is under the user's control, not under the company's control. And this is why the cookie policies are the stupidest parts about GDPR. Just teach your citizens to clear their cookies, for crying out loud, or to run something that's going to block them altogether. But as they're going through, they're testing software in the Chrome browser to act as a replacement for third-party cookies, which are internet ad tracking tools that have come under scrutiny for recording user data. The way we see it is there is a lot of technological innovations in the heart of this, and what we've been focusing on is not blocking third-party cookies right away. Google's head of user trust and privacy for advertising told Axios on Monday. We are intent on engaging the entire advertising community and really leaning into the kind of collaboration that is critical to make such a massive change. This, to me, actually kind of terrifies me. I'd rather them not get all this cozy with one another. Replacing cookie-based ad targeting online is difficult among sweeping privacy protection reform because it is a lucrative revenue stream. And they're kind of go into it and looking into what they're doing here. They're trying to use more fingerprinting technologies, a few other measures and factors, and then they want to compile everything together and sell groups of people instead of people themselves. Which, to me, I don't know. We need to see more information about how this comes out so we can figure out what we're going to do next. So this is what Google's doing. They're trying to get away from the cookies. They're utilizing a form of API. It's called Federated Learning of Cohorts, or FLoC. The FLoC has come, guys. The FLoC has come. In testing, FLoC has given advertisers at least 95% of the conversions per dollar compared to cookie-based ads. The FLoC uses machine learning algorithms to analyze user data and then create groups of thousands of people based on sites and individual visits. The data gathered locally from the browser is never shared. Instead, the data from a much wider cohort of thousands of people is shared, and then that is used to get targeted ads. I really need to see how more of this stuff is working, because this, to me, sounds a little bit terrifying. We'll get into that in a little bit. Well, we mentioned earlier about brain-computer interfaces, and that is somewhat tangentially what my novel Synaptergy is about. So this novel is available. You can buy it directly from me at worldwarepress.com, or just head on over to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, or wherever else you go ahead and pick up your books. We go ahead and allow privacy browser to allow SoundCloud. You can listen to the first 5 minutes of the book over there. You can read the first chapter of the book on the site, and where to buy will give a list of all of the places I know of, and there's probably more places you can buy it as well. But you can head on over to the website there, which is going to be at synaptergy.com or tlm.li/S. So head on over there to synaptergy.com for more information or to grab some details on that book. Next, we're going to get on into some smart tech news. Just 3 little smart tech articles here. The first one, Sidewalk Robot Startup celebrates the 1 million deliveries to a person alone on a sidewalk with a mask. Are you worried about giving COVID to the robot now? I mean, I do notice, though, she's only wearing 1 mask. You need 2 masks now. Didn't you get the memo? 2 masks. If 1 mask is good, 2 just makes common sense. But anyway, in the Washington, D.C. area, this person orders up a hamburger, and it's delivered by the Starship. What's up with some of these company names? And the robot came in and apparently delivered the 1 millionth cheeseburger, apparently. So yay for smart tech. The robots are going to save us all, and we're still going to be socially distanced, isolated, while wearing multiple masks in full rubber body suits. How exciting. Smart grocery stores are coming to change the way we shop. This is kind of a follow-up. We looked at a couple of these. So, of course, Amazon Go has their whole sensor-enabled stuff. You don't even need to do anything special. Just walk in, grab stuff, and leave, and you're all good to go. And we saw Giant, I believe, I don't think Kroger is the Giant brand, is it? Or is it the Giant brand? I can't remember. But Kroger is working with Caper. So Caper, this is a new smart cart. So you use this little cart here. You can see the keypad stuff it has, which I'm assuming that you sign in or slide some identification or do some other dystopian thing that tracks anything and everything you're doing and probably takes multiple pictures of you and figures out your voice samples and everything else it can possibly do. And the idea is you just grab the cart, you roam around and you throw stuff into the cart, and then you just kind of wheel yourself on out of the store with it, and it automatically charges whatever cart is on file. That's right, it's getting so easy, guys. You may as well just go ahead and not even worry about having that card with you. Just implant it right into your head or into your right hand, into your forehead or right hand, and then you will be good to go. You can just go on in, use these new smart devices, just be in, be out. You don't have to worry about bringing anything anymore. And that's just really the way to go. And to get all the more dystopian, hey Alexa, order unicorn meat, confirm. Alexa can now act on its own hunches to turn off lights and more. That's right, now your Alexas are going to learn from your patterns and do things that you ordinarily do, and it's going to do it all for you. Like, so long for the smart blinds where you pick up your smartphone in the morning, still laying in bed, you push a button and your blinds go up. Oh no. The Amazon Echo will recognize when you're awake, you've yawned, and so it says, raising the blinds. This is a world I'm not sure I really want to be a part of. Hey Dave, you don't get lights today, Dave. So, yeah, the Amazon is now enabling a new feature today. This is a couple days ago by now. Allows Alexa to proactively complete tasks around the house, like turning off lights based on your habits and frequent requests. It's been a bad day, Dave. Want me to turn on your favorite nasty internet site? Dave. Alexa has been able to sense these habits and ask about them since 2018. Oh, how dystopian of you, Alexa. The company calls them hunches. I have a hunch you're going to want this, Dave. So prior to this, it was at least asking you about your hunches. No, now it just says, I'm just doing it. I'm doing it. Hey, Alexa, order 5 unicorn meats. Confirm. So Alexa, Alexa would ask permission before acting on something like lowering the thermostat before you went to bed. The new proactive hunches are enabled, though. Alexa will skip asking and just do the task. Isn't that so nice? Let's see what kind of dystopia we can get here. Let's turn off the sound here. Look at this nice dystopian video here. I'll kind of narrate what we see. I have not watched this before. There you go. Oh, the light's on. So, 72. And we got, I'm not sure what that thing is. Is that a cable box, internet router? I don't know. Uh-oh, Alexa, good night. By the way, your living room light is on. Do you want me to turn it off? Oh, that's just too much time. I just want you to turn it off. Like, what guy's sitting in bed with the light on anyway? I'm crying out loud. Hunches. Ooh, you can turn your hunches on. You can turn your hunches on. What is that middle one? It's so difficult. Oh, it's a vacuum. Okay. So it's so difficult to go over to the thermostat and set it. Now you just have to be so lazy and let your device do everything for you. At what point in time are we just a brainless moron? And 10:38 at night, you're in bed? What are you? Some Sears employee or something? I don't know. So anyway, proactive business hunches seem like they can make Alexa a lot more useful. I don't know. I think it's a lot more dystopian personally, but let me know what you guys think. Is that much more useful or much more dystopian? Let me know in the comments down below. Well, if you want to help support my crazy news and filled rants, you can head on over to Subscribestar. You can help support the channel on over there. Subscribestar.com/switchedtolinux. We also have Patreon, patreon.com/TOMM. You can head on to either one of those. People often ask, what's my preference? It doesn't really matter. I don't really care. I also have thinklifemedia.com. That one, until we get in that onto a new platform, just do with one of these other two if you can, because Think Life Media's software right now is driving me mad. But I don't have time to redesign it and fix it right this second. But you can head on over there, subscribestar.com/switched2linux to help support the channel that way. Thanks for coming along, guys, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.